Hello everyone and welcome to the next live show. There's not much planned for today. I just thought we'd sit down and have a bit of a question and answer period. So let's go ahead and go over to the live feed. Thomas, I'm not sure what you mean. What am I looking for? Oh, model-wise? Donation-wise? Whatever you have that you're willing to donate to the educational section's fine. I'm sure everyone would appreciate anything that is put up there. That's okay. So, does anyone have any questions about the tutorial series? To find out the results of the poll, if you open up a new tab and go to BurgZergArcade.com, and I believe it's /poll, you'll get a list of all the polls that we've had, and they're chronologically ordered with the latest poll on top. So poll is in POLL. The winner was Start Integrating UI Toolkit, followed by Mob Up AI update. So those are probably going to take a little while to do. So I'm not sure when the next poll will be up. Yes, it is. So what was your question, Thomas? I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to be. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea how many videos it's going to be. My goal is to actually have it done by the end of this summer and up, and that includes the multiplayer part. That's fine. I'm sure your English is better than any other languages I speak. Yeah, but anyway, by the end of this summer, I want everything up and running, and that includes the multiplayer part. So it shouldn't be too much longer, maybe 3-4 more months. Me too. By far the biggest project I've done with Unity. Well, there's always a demo online. I don't always have it on the front page. The last demo online, I haven't updated it since the end of all of our little spell effects. So, not a whole lot, just a bunch of spell effects going off. Okay, seems some people are really having a hard time with the chat. The people that are still in the chat room, are you having trouble with it too, or I'm not sure why people are getting kicked and joining again. Okay. I've been putting up a lot of videos for things that are like ones that I don't do. Stuff like there was the Blender series a little while ago by Canned Mushrooms, and then I started throwing up some Mudbox videos. Do people even actually? Well, actually, it looks like people are watching them. I just wasn't sure if people actually even watched them or enjoyed them. They're usually videos that I found that I actually like. Now, I don't use Mudbox, but it doesn't mean other people don't. I've always used ZBrush because that's what I initially learned how to use, and I've just never used anything else. Yeah, the live show's on right now. I'm not sure if he's watching though. I figure, if you learn anything, I guess, if you really don't like Mudbox and just don't watch those videos. Where is E3 this year? Probably not. I will be at Gen Con though. We've already got our tickets for that. The new The new Blender ones are 2.57. If you go to the tutorial section, it's Canned Mushrooms new Blender series. Yeah, if you go to tutorial sections under Blender, Canned Mushrooms Blender 2.5 training. When he's done, he's going to be putting them all on DVD, and you can buy the DVD. I have absolutely no idea how much it is. I don't know the guy. I'm not getting a cut of the commission or anything like that. I just find his tutorials fairly straightforward. They're paced well enough that I think most people will be able to get something out of them. Buzz 3D, oh sorry, 3D Buzz. Yes, I'm always screwing that up. It's either 3D Buzz or Buzz 3D. They have a Blender series that they're putting out as well, and I'm not exactly sure how far they're along in that one, but their Blender series I believe is free as well, so you can also go check them out. If you're actually looking to get into 3D modeling, Blender is a great package to do it. Honestly, it does pretty much everything you're really going to need at the base level. If you're really serious about becoming I guess, game artist, some of the other packages might have some things that are going to really help you out, but honestly, I think for the most part, Blender is going to have everything you really need. Especially the new version. My problem with Blender is that when I was running some render tests with it, it was a little slower, but you don't do a whole lot of rendering for game models. Oh, really? Okay, I knew they had well, I don't want to say a ton of videos, a lot of videos already out on it. I didn't realize it was all interface based. Do you have a link for that offhand? Just so everyone else doesn't have to go searching for it? Yeah. I used Blender a lot back in 2.49, and during the whole 2.5 curve, it kind of annoyed me because some of the hotkeys were changed. The layout kept changing from, like, the base layout from version to version. And I don't do a whole lot of 3D modeling. I generally save it all up, sit down, do a bunch of 3D modeling, and not touch it again for a couple of months unless I actually need to. And like, it's okay. I think it looks better, but since I was used to the old way it looked, it didn't really bother me. And you can go through and change the way it looks. Yeah, I have Maya, but I grew up with Blender, and I just don't see the need for me to change. Sure, Maya does have a few nice little tools that Blender didn't, but I use Blender. Now, if I'm working with someone and they only use Maya, it comes in handy, but other than that, I'll just stick to Blender myself. Okay, that's one of them. So and they have 3 out so far? All in the interface? Yeah, they call them, well, a lot of people call them drops. I've seen other sites call their little tutorials drops. So it looks like Super Assassin, it looks like he might have given up. That's too bad. He's having trouble. So since we do still have 5 people on, are there any questions or anything that anyone wants to talk about before I start poking around to see what's new on the interwebs? There is a link on the website for it. I'll just go get that for everyone just so you can get it. There's a couple tutorials as well. It's pretty easy to use. When we start using it, we are going to have to go over delegates and lambdas and stuff like that, but they're not really that hard to understand. and it was something we intended to cover anyway. Actually, it's not. It allows you to put all of your draw calls like down to 1, which is great on any operating system. You probably get the most benefit from on the mobile platform because you those extra 50 to 200 draw calls that you're saving really helps out. But well, 200 draw calls on a mobile device would be a little heavy anyway. But for instance, our inventory system, when you open up your inventory, you get a draw call for each slot. So we have, what, 24 slots? And then like the icons on each one, there's another 24. So you're at 48. You have the background image. That's another one, 49. Any text you have appearing there, there's, like I said at the top, it said inventory. That's another draw call. So you're already up to 50 draw calls just by hitting that I key and popping that up. Being able to reduce all of that down to 1 draw call is pretty good. And it's been a while since I've been following it, but I'm pretty sure they actually have container classes done now, at least started. And that was the main thing I was concerned about. There's a few people that were much further along in their game. I forget his YouTube name, but on the website he's A Falk. He was having a lot of trouble with draw calls. So this is something, well, his game was getting to the point where it was getting laggy. So this will probably be something that will help him out as well. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why it's not working for Internet Explorer. I have been here before with Internet Explorer, and I do not recall any updates. I'm using Chrome right now as well. I'm not having a problem. I know they're getting close to releasing the new version of Unity. I believe it's in beta already. And by new version, I don't mean 4.0. Whatever we're up to next. I think we're at 3.3 right now. So this will be 3.4. Oh, excuse me. Stupid Empire Avenue keep me up all morning. I'm just going through some tweets. I'm not seeing anything. No. They had that little, was it Ninja Camp or something like that? I know some of those features they're trying to get into the new version, but I really don't have any idea. They did talk about something a little while ago that I really liked about the new version. And I can't recall exactly what it is, but it shouldn't be too much longer before it's out. Oh, really? I didn't hear that the dev team for Mono or for Mono Develop? So Novell fired them. Okay, they have a new well, actually no, it's I don't think it's in any dire need right now. The current version of Mono, I think, supports everything in 4.0, or at least the majority of. Ooh. Edit that one out. Anyway, the current version of Mono, I believe, supports pretty much everything in .NET 4.0, at least all the stuff that I've seen anyway. Well, Visual Studios isn't cross-platform. Before Unity started using Mono Develop, I used to just dual boot and just point my Visual Studios to my directory where I was saving everything. And I'll do it again if I have to, but I kind of liked the one IDE that would just work everywhere. I'm trying to find out why they fired them. I'm not seeing why. I'm reading another one that says they laid them off, which is a little bit different. Okay, so the company that bought Novell, Attachmate, it's just reorganizing Novell. Wow, I didn't realize they got sold, especially for $2.2 billion. So they laid off all the mono developers. So they wanted to they wanted to put a priority on SUSE, the Linux operating system. That's too bad, because it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything with it now. Unless there becomes a business need for it. And it's not like another person can just pick up the ball and start running with it, because Novell does own it. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because there's so many technologies built off of it now. Does anyone else have any other good news? No, I guess not necessarily good. Well, the crappy thing is it doesn't even tell you. Okay, so this week I'm going to make it a priority to get rid of the chat client we currently have. I haven't had that happen before. I'm just going to go back to the Mibit one. Sure, it doesn't look as nice and it doesn't have all the fancy, clicking features, but it didn't crash. So for those that are, I guess not new to the site, we've been using this one for about a month or so. If you haven't used Mibit yet, or at least if you haven't used it when we had it before, that means you're going to have to re-register your name, but it's better than having it crash all the time. Because of broken pipe. I noticed our little stream bot got kicked as well. The last thing I seen was we were talking about Mono or Visual Studio. So, well, I guess you could actually see it in the stream yourself as well, where we got kicked. Nothing. Yeah, as far as the educational assets go, I don't actually touch them at all. I just put them up the way people send them. And that way, if other people want adjustments or something like that made, or anything they want to have, like any interaction with the model at all, or at least the creator, they come to you instead of me. And it's just a place for people that want to share stuff to put it up. And since most of the stuff that people wanted to share had to do with the tutorial series that we're currently doing, I just figured having it all in one spot was a little bit easier for everyone. Yeah, okay, so you're a game development student, and you want to choose a game engine to specialize on. Oh, excuse me. Do you have any idea of what companies you want to work for? I'd probably look at what game engines they're using and start there. Unity was just voted the best game engine by something like Game Developer Magazine. Yeah. I've never used UDK. I've looked at it, and while they might have the ability, well, a lot of people talk about, UDK games look so much better than Unity games, and I don't think that really has anything to do with the game engine itself. I'd put a link up. Let me find it here. should be on the front page of basically it's a real-time 3D interactive architectural walkthrough. And I think that looks absolutely amazing. Well, it's more complicated in which way? Like, it's just more complicated to use? That's one of the things I really like about Unity, is the fact that I can just sit down and prototype things out on the fly, and then just to make sure that my ideas are going to work, and then I can come back and refine everything to actually be a lot more efficient. But as far as just sitting down prototyping, going, you know, I have this crazy idea of how I want to do something, you know, will this even work at all? I find it very fast to do. Now, if you're not sure what game engine you want to use, as far as, you know, like the company you're going to go to, which game engine they're going to use, I see nothing wrong with sticking with Unity. You might want to look at UDK as well. But Unity has all that multi-platform support already built in. And it has a really good editor. And, well, I like Unity the best so far. I haven't used another game engine in so long. You know, ever since I've started using Unity about 2 years ago, I don't even think I've touched a different game engine since. Well, Game Salad. That's only because my wife is interested in it. But the Crytek engine, when it comes out in August, being free, I believe it's a non-commercial license. Yeah. So, yeah. So the UDK, Crytek, and Unity are probably the three big ones that people recognize. I'm not going to touch the Cry engine. No. I don't see a point in doing anything with the Cry engine. You know, it was a few months back before they announced that it was coming free. Someone offered me an educational license for it, just to do some tutorials on. And I was like, nah. I just don't have the time to pick up another engine and, you know, see what it can do. Yeah, just do it in Unity. But anyway, if there's no other questions or anything anyone wants to talk about, I'm going to end the recording. We can still sit around and talk afterwards, but if there's any, I just wanted to get all the questions recorded for people. And we didn't really have any, so I probably won't even actually do any editing on this one, and it probably won't be uploaded. But last week we didn't do a recording, and there was a few things that came up that were kind of interesting. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and end the recording then.